using blockchain protocol to create a decentralized economic operating system for developers, offering equal access to global commerce. I'm Tanya Hall for ZDNet, and joining me is Marc Blinder. He is the co-founder and chief product officer at Aikon. Welcome, Marc.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
So what kind of work do you do at Aikon?
Well, I'm one of the founders of the company. So from the early stages, it's been a lot of things, right? It's not just product management, but ultimately that's what I'm most responsible for, making sure we actually get a really high quality product in developers' hands in a way that's easy to use, in a way that really makes people's lives better,
And what does Aikon do as a company?
So Aikon is a company that does a couple things. First and foremost, the most important thing we're doing is developing a protocol that we call Open Rights Exchange. And that's going to be the basis of an entire platform. It's built on blockchain, and it's built to kind of be a transaction layer for the internet, much like we have kind of HTTP and SSL for connecting to web properties. Or the Open Rights Exchange platform will allow anyone who has digital assets or APIs, those types of things, to monetize them directly. And because it's built on blockchain, it's fundamentally decentralized. We don't want to own it. It's an open source protocol for the world, developers all over to use. On top of that, we're also building an API marketplace and an API kind of payments layer. And so that's something that the company Aikon will have more control over. But we don't want to limit the use of our protocol. And that's going to be really, free for the world to adopt if it suits their needs.
What are the components to achieving a truly decentralized global economy?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. It's something we think about a lot because we're sort of true believers in this decentralization, kind of democratic blockchain vision that people talk about. There's a lot of work that's already being done by other companies in terms of, decentralized currencies, decentralized computing and storage, and all these different, I think, really amazing innovations that are going on out there. But our part to play, we think, is to deliver this transaction infrastructure, this protocol, and then also the services people need to use it really easily. Because we know not every developer out there is a blockchain expert. Not everyone wants to learn how to write a smart contract or even understand how to read Solidity, right? And so we're giving developers tools and services and libraries and everything they need to kind of take advantage of this decentralized economy without having to really learn things that are outside of what they're truly interested in, which could be anything from artificial intelligence to medicine or whatever. And so yeah, that's where we see ourselves playing a role is kind of the fundamental ingredients that people need to do these kinds of transactions on blockchain online.
In this role, Marc, how do you protect developers from cryptocurrency volatility and ensure that they'll actually get paid no matter, whether they have a bank account or even if credit cards are required for the transaction? I mean, how do you offer them some sort of security?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one of the things we're doing that really aligns with what we care about as a team, like as people, is trying to give world-class capabilities to developers no matter where they live. I mean, right now I'm sitting in San Francisco. It's really easy to go online and buy any API I might want. I've got a US credit card number, I've got US dollars, and I'm sitting in California, right? But for most of the world, the banking system doesn't work the same way. A lot of the world really doesn't have credit cards or doesn't have the ability to pay for things in dollars. And so the fact that we use cryptocurrency gives us this, very easy way for anyone that has an internet connection to access the protocol and pay for things and be paid. Now, the downside to cryptocurrency is, of course, the volatility, right? We've all seen huge upsides, downsides. It changes every day. And so it makes it difficult to price your service or price your product. It also makes it difficult to kind of maintain the money you've earned, right? If it can move overnight. So in addition to the protocol, we are releasing a sort of what people call a stable coin, a stable currency that we call CPU. The CPU token is designed to not ever go up, only go down very slowly. It's linked to actually the price of running servers. And so, because of Moore's law, like that becomes cheaper over time, but in a very predictable and not very volatile way. And that's critical so that when people pay for services, the developers that built that service know that their money will be safe if they go away for the weekend or for the week or for the month, right? That price of the tokens they've now earned is not going anywhere fast. And so with the stable coin and the CPU token, it enables people to do these transactions basically with an understanding of the price in their local currency. Like here I am in dollars. I can look on our marketplace site. Again, this is kind of at that like marketplace service level where we're making it easy for people to use. You can look at the site, see the price of an API in dollars if you live in America, or pounds if you live in England, and pay for it in Ether. Behind the scenes, we're going to turn this into this stable coin that's going to actually be recorded, that transactions recorded on the blockchain, the developer's getting paid. But you as a buyer don't really need to understand this. All you need to know as a buyer really, or as a seller who's just doing sort of basic things on the platform, is the stable currency protects you from the volatility. And so you just think about your API in terms of dollars or pounds or whatever, and our software kind of takes care of that behind the scenes for you.
So it sounds like this is how Aikon is using blockchain to create a global economic OS. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the global economic OS all the time, and I think the two parts that are really missing is the stable currency, right? Cryptocurrency is vital, but stable currency is a very important part if you want people to actually use it. And the OR protocol, right? Because the protocol actually is built for these kinds of transactions. And so it makes it very easy to exchange the rights to digital assets. The entire thing is built that the taxonomy, the language, it's all very domain specific. And so it makes it very efficient and straightforward to do something like sell access rights to a digital asset like an API, or even maybe someday a digital movie or a song you're going to stream, or any other kind of digital property. In the far future, we're really expecting almost everything to be transacted digitally in the economy. But none of the sort of blockchain platforms really do that in a very specific and easy way that's built for those kinds of transactions.
You've talked about a developer first mindset. What does that mean?
Well, to me, it's sort of everything about what we do in terms of product culture. So it's making sure that that developers have the first access to see what we're really doing by checking out our open source repo, right? It's making sure developers can get our tokens that they need to operate the system without having to necessarily pay for them in the early days, right? We will be giving some away to developers that participate in things like testing and participate in improving the network and stuff like that. And it also means just when we build features, like keeping the developer first in our minds about like what are the features they really need, what makes it easy for a developer to use this protocol, what makes it beneficial economically for a developer to use this protocol. And so it really cuts across a lot of different things we do as a business. And I guess, sorry, I kind of alluded to something there that maybe requires some more explanation. But one of the things we're doing with the OR protocol and the OR tokens is actually running automated third-party testing of APIs that are using our protocol. And so developers can be participate in the testing or the having their products tested using that sort of decentralized network of testers. And so I think that's also another kind of really important ancillary value to the network and to the marketplace, is having this sort of constant testing and validation going on.
I have to ask, Marc, how do you go from a political science degree to designing APIs on the blockchain?
Well, to me, I've always loved technology. And even when I worked in politics on political campaigns, like I wanted to do pretty cutting edge technical work. But I was drawn into politics because I love, uh, I care a lot about certain issues, right? There are things that really matter to me, and I want to change the world, and I want to make the world a better place. But after I worked in politics for a while, I really came to believe that the sort of systems that run the economy in this country are actually vastly more important to the day-to-day impact on people's lives than anything that can be achieved kind of just working on political campaigns. It's not that I don't still respect it, and I vote, I protest, I march, I do all these things, but I just think the best opportunity to change the world is to kind of change the rules of the game people are playing.
Well, maybe the game changer and how you're going to change the world is through a decentralized global economy. So good luck with that. And thanks for joining and talking about the work that you're doing. If somebody wants to connect with you, maybe find out more about your company or how to get involved with you personally, how can they do that?
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly aikon.com, AIKON.com. It's the ancient Greek spelling, actually, of the word. But Aikon also has a Telegram channel. We're on Twitter. I'm personally on Twitter at mblinder, MBLINDER. And you could also find us on Facebook and Instagram and whatever. But I would say Telegram is probably the best place to go once you visited our website, where you can get linked into our GitHub repos, see the white paper. It's all on there.
Thanks again, Marc. I appreciate your time. And if you want to connect with me or follow my work, you can do that right here on ZDNet, or find me on Tech Republic, or find me on Twitter. I like to tweet at Tanya Hall Radio, or find me on Facebook by searching for The Tanya Hall Show. Until next time.